also looks like every each one had really some hard effort and also probably some hardship actually in some way, each own. And I just, when I was listening to each of your sharing, I thought probably everybody had some kind of difficulties on the way, not just this Kyol Che, probably. And then I just thought about this Zen Master Manggong's teaching word that your hard effort toward the path, that itself will be the path. So, and that really, I'm realizing the more actually I stay here and the more I think, oh, my path is this or that, then even like this evening, after some long meeting, then I was so tired and I was kind of wiped out and it was quite difficult to get up to go up to the chanting. But then I knew that, I have to, because especially this circle talk, it's very one little kind of example that we always face, some kind of difficulties and hardship. But then if you make some effort, which means you return to your beginner's mind and you understand why you should do that, and that motivation itself will become the path. So when I was listening to each of yours, probably some kind of effort during this Kyol Che or hard effort, that itself will become the path. So I mean, when you kind of have some authentic view from some eminent teachers teaching word, that's also some quite a moment, for you to, when you digest it, recognize it. So, and I wanted to show that. And I had a quite, as you probably remember, I had a quite interesting start of this Kyol Che because the second week I got COVID. Actually, it was funny because only after I came back that I learned that some people even didn't know that. Some people thought I kind of maybe my mind was shaky, so I left. I heard that kind of rumor. So anyway, it was very funny. So there was a very, I think, a first probably experience for me that I had to be away during Kyol Che because I was sick. And then very interestingly, that I happened to read also Zen Master Seung Sahn's teaching about this sickness and death, from some magazine. And the main point of his that teaching article was about when you understand you are dying, especially which means actually when you get ill or sick, then it's very easy for you to let go of things. Because if you realize that actually you are dying. So I think ordinary people get the point usually when they are very sick or ill. But I think everyone here who came to try these boring things is because we understand this life is come and go. And we understand someday this body will die. Then it doesn't matter you are sick or not, we always have this insight that, there's nothing that we can hold. So it's easier for us to let go any, attachment that we may hold in our mind. So that, I was sick at the time, so that really inspired me. That I just happened to read that about this sickness. So that's also another thing that I want to share. And last, probably one of the moments during this Kyol Che was this typhoon that happened, typhoon things. And then I a little tried to kind of, because I also go around to see what happened. And as you probably, we were losing almost this magnolia. And one tall tree actually fell, right? But of course, that's not their fault. But I just, you understand, the magnolia had so much just rich leaves, probably too much more than the root nailed in the ground. That's not its fault, but it just, was growing there. So which means if the root is very important always. And then also this, if something or even ourselves have so much more than we need on the surface, much more than actually we can balance ourselves on the ground, then when there is some very strong challenge from outside, like in a typhoon for a tree, then it fell. So I just thought maybe also we can learn from that. Also the tall tree, you see, there are a lot of little trees actually were not knocked down by the typhoon. And many of them will actually get together. So I thought we can also learn from the nature. When even the little trees get together, lean each other, rely on each other, then even there is a strong typhoon, they all survived. So that gave me some kind of notion that this community is also like that. It doesn't matter how wonderful you are, how strong you are, or how outstandingly good, capable you are. If you don't know how to actually relate to people together, then when there is some challenge or hardship, it's much more difficult for us to deal. So I also appreciate again this community, and everybody tried hard and hope to see keep practicing together. Thank you.